What's the hardest conversation you've ever had?
Probably telling my place of work that I was stealing from them.
Tell me that story.
This was many years ago.
Yeah.
And I was a different version of myself, and I would take product that was defective and sell it, and after many years of looking at that, I realized that was stealing in a way, and I confronted it by telling them. I had to make amends, you know?
I was about to say, was that an amends?
No, I had to make amends, and financial amends. I had to be like, here's what I owe you, cash in hand.
What?
And they were like, LOL, thank you for telling me. Like, go donate that money somewhere. Like, don't worry about it. So that was really hard.
Yeah.
And in the spiritual work that I do, I often have to make these kind of amends, and those conversations are really hard. But there's always growth on the other side.
Yeah.
And to show up for that shit is just, talk about fear. Like,
yeah.
If I can do that, it's just like I get to do that. You know, I get to do that, and that was really hard. I've had many of those conversations. I was logging into my ex-boyfriend's Instagram account for like I was like a crazy person and sneaking into his shit, and I had to tell him I was doing that, and he laughed at me. He's like, "You are crazy. LOL. Stop. Like, I'm changing my password and don't do it again." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." So that was hard, but it never ends up the way I think it is.
Right. And now you get to be free.
So that's the joke.
That's so funny. What don't you want to tell people but know you should share because it will help someone else? Like, what would you usually feel uncomfortable talking about or bringing up, but you're like, I wish somebody would have said something like this when I
make a point when I find that it will serve others to mention that I don't drink or use any mood or mind altering substances, because I never knew people like that when I was really in my dark shit. I didn't know people who didn't. And that's a testament to who I surrounded myself with, but I don't keep that a secret. I don't blast the world about it, but it's like, it's a thing.
Yeah. It's
a thing I mention. I don't know, I'm such an open book today. Like, I'll talk about anything. It just comes out of me. Yeah. That's hard to answer.
Yeah, no. But I mean, that was a good answer. So it works.
Cool.
What do you feel will restore connection? Like, I guess in our generation, the question is the world, but that's such a grand scale that, like, right here in Philly, like, what can we do?
The solution is always spiritual. Love is that. Love is God. Love is spiritual. That is connection. Like, I'm always like, I wish everyone would be spiritual.
Yeah.
I wish everyone would have some sort of higher power or God to trust. Because, like, for me, I think trust is an answer to that. Like, if I can trust that I'm gonna be okay, because I know I will be okay no matter what. Like, my dad fucking dropped dead, and I'm okay. So I know I'll be good no matter what. And so that trust in the universe's plan keeps me, like, I have serenity, I have peace, and it helps me to be free of myself to then be available to people. So I can connect more because I'm not obsessed with my shit, and I'm all feared up and all like, oh, my this, my that, me. And I'm not perfect by any means, but it's helpful.
Yeah.
It's helpful to be that way today. Like, we were sharing earlier, I wasn't born that way. I don't wake up that way either. It's like, it takes like, okay, let me get centered.
Yeah.
Let me get my rock and hold on to this grounding rock. Like, whatever, you know? So I think trust.
Do you have any advice for someone who's kind of struggling with getting grounded and, like, finding trust, or even trying to find, like, something greater than them to, like, look towards? Because I know that's sometimes an unfathomable idea for, like, a lot of people.
I think thanks to social media, like, there are tools available to seek. The next thing is seek. Like, okay, I want more. I want to fill this hole that I'm like, what is this hole? So ask questions, seek, find someone who has that glow or what you want, and be like, how did you get it? What do you do? And then try things. I had someone suggest to me once, like, pray. I was like, pray? It's mortifying. And I was like, but how do you pray? And so they're like, try these prayers. Okay, I'll try these prayers. And over time, like, now I have my prayers. And now, like, I pray. I'm someone who prays. I'm walking down the street talking to God. Like, and I'm not religious, but I'm like, talking to God shit. And, like, that worked. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. So I tried that. All these divination tools, like, my shit, I found because someone suggested it to me. And so tarot cards, oracle cards, reading literature, podcasts, Eckhart Tolle, like, all that woo-woo shit, like, I'm about it.
Yeah.
A crystal, going into a crystal store, asking a question, what does this do, why? Draw, art, oh my god, art, are you kidding me? Running, I could go on. So that's the shit that serves me. I get all amped up and inspired when I talk about it.
Can you tell me the story of how you were introduced to tarot?
Yes, I was working in Soho, New York at a Sick store. Her artist named Michelle Varian, and she's a sick textile designer. So it was such an inspiring space to work in. And on Thursdays, she would have a tarot card reader come through, and I would watch that happen. I would watch it weekly. And
this person would be reading for the employees or for people who come in?
People would come through. They would make an
Okay.
appointment.
Okay.
They would book time with her, and they would have her little corner moment.
Yeah.
And I would watch it happen for months, and I was like, I'm gonna do that someday. And at that point I had already had a conception of, like, my universe. I was tapped in a little bit, but then I was like, I'm gonna give this a whirl, and I gave it a whirl. Jamie was the card reader at that event, and the reading blew my mind, like, gave me the chills. And, like, the artwork on the cards was sick. It was the Wild Unknown deck.
Oh, okay, love that.
I saw that. I was like, this is gorgeous and beautiful, and what am I even witnessing? I was looking at something that told my story and gave me hope and faith and trust, and, like, and then I was like, I'm inspired. It just, like, instantly I knew I needed more information. So I really started researching what tarot is, why, what are the cards' meanings, and then creating my own deck and work around that, inspired by that moment. So grateful.
Did you ever for a second feel like, who am I to want to create a deck, and, like, can I create a deck? Because I know when I first even was introduced to tarot, it was very much like, can I even do this? Like, should I be, but, like, who am I, right?
Yeah.
Like, who am I to feel like I have this, like, power, magic to be able to tell people stuff about their stuff, or to even look into my stuff? It's like, will they work for me?
Yeah.
Is this even, like, appropriating some other, like, because some people, really are, I don't know. I just want to know, because I know different people feel different things. Would you ever feel,
who am I to not do that?
Right.
So it's like, why don't I deserve to make anything I'm inspired to do? I don't question it. I didn't question it at all. I mean, there are the awareness today of, like, appropriation of things is real, and, like, I'm learning on the daily about that shit. I really have to look at it, and it's an opportunity for me to be like, okay, what are my intentions, what are my motivations, and are they pure and beautiful? And, like, ultimately I'm inspired, and I'm being given shit. My brain is being given shit, so I have to. It's not an option for me. I don't question it, and if I do question it, I know who to go to. I have people that, there are just people in my life that I've surrounded myself with that are a family of other inspirational women, or people who might know more about this, that, the other. But I don't. When I'm inspired to make shit, I don't question it. I roll.